Hey, Bradley Bean here of Bean and Bailey, Morristown native, here to talk about my hometown.
Today's really cool inside.
That's right, the Rose Center. We're going to go in there.
I didn't see any roses though.
The Rose Center is Morristown's, we call it our community cultural center. A lot of history here, learn a lot of things inside the Rose Center. Morristown, by the way, is the home of about 27,000 residents. Hamlin County having about 60,000 residents. You didn't know we were that big, did you?
No, I didn't know that at all. I didn't know any of those facts.
We're big time here in Morristown. Did you know within 30-minute radius here of Morristown there's about
That's a circle. Within like 30 minutes, you could get, like if in the middle of that circle, you could drive in any direction and get there in 30 minutes. That's what that is.
And in that circle, there's about 300,000 people. So of all that, right here is our center, our community cultural center.
The center of all that.
The Rose Center. Now, a little history, Jackson. Check this out. Right here, the Rose Center was actually built in 1892.
Same year Columbus sailed the whole ocean blue.
No.
Yeah.
Not even close. Okay, exactly 400 years off, which is a long time, quite frankly.
Well, haven't we talked about this before?
No. Oh, yeah, Jackson does tend to get his American history mixed up a little bit.
Me?
See what I mean?
That's good. All right, now my favorite hero, I think we've all learned about Paul Revere. The Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. He was in an elite group of men.
The Minutemen.
Okay, you're right.
I am, because that was I like that story a lot. He came riding through the town. It was something like this. He came riding through. Like, he didn't have a mic stand. He had a horse. So you're not getting the real picture. But he came riding through the town, him and his men. And when he'd give out the signal, I don't know what the signal is, but it had to be loud, so I always envisioned it must have been a lot like when my grandmother called us in for dinner. So when he gave out the signal, I imagine it was kind of like, woo, or something like that. And when he gave out the signal, then they had to be fully dressed and out the door in 1 minute. Mm-hmm. Which is why there were no women in the group. I'm pretty sure. Don't get me wrong, okay? I think they had the hour-and-a-half women. They did.
But by the time they got out there, the battle was over.
Right, but they looked good, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. And being from Tennessee, so much about the Civil War, I think, is one more time that we need to remember the sacrifices that were made because so much hung in the balance.
If you're going to bring it up, you got to pronounce it right.
I said Civil War. Okay?
I know, but it was the Silver War. It was like, we want the silver. No, we want. It made such a huge impact on our nation. You don't sit down at a meal without thinking about that war today, Bradley.
What?
Yeah, what do you eat with?
A fork and a spoon?
Yeah, Silver War.
There you go. Sometimes I just have to really spell it out for him.
Yeah.
Like this, R-O-S-E, the Rose Center.
Okay.
Can we go inside now?
Okay, we can go inside. I'm pretty sure I was right about that, though. Hey, speaking of right, what does the Rose Center and the Wright brothers have in common? Let's find out. Melville Merle, some people say Merle, but I think if you're from around here, Merle sounds a little bit more correct. Okay, so he came up
with the paper airplane. He invented the paper airplane. He was the first one to sit in class and fold it and just...
No, he actually came up with a flying machine several years before the Wright brothers came up with their flying machine. See, the Wright brothers began their experiments in about 1900, but back in 1877, I believe it was, Melville Merle got a patent for a flying machine.
Good old Melville.
And in order to get that patent, he didn't just go up and come down. He had to fly that thing several hundred yards, okay? And so it was man-powered. It took a strong person to fly this.
You just said man-powered. He didn't flap his arms.
Well, somebody had to get in the machine and do some stuff to make it.
Is that what
you
they did
can
right
see.
there?
Can we get a shot up here?
Hang on. Apparently, this is what they did, according to Bradley. Can you imagine flying 100 yards or however long you had to like this?
Okay. Now, in Morristown, Tennessee, back in the late 1800s, before the Wright brothers, on a hill down near Panther Creek.
Before the Wright brothers.
Yeah. So
Take that! I don't mean to make you cry,
but you ain't the first to fly, Wilbur. Well, that's all the time we had today. Thank you for visiting the Rose Center with us today.
This is awesome. And so come check out the Rose Center, because I just found out there's a crochet class downstairs in room 3.
Crochet.
What?
It's crochet class.
Crockett.
No, it's not Crockett either. That's Davy Crockett. Heck, that's next week.
See you next week.